It's
If I
great.
could show you my computer, it's let me just show you something here. Can you look?
r-
It's snowing now.
Yes, it's beautiful morning over there.
We got
Beautiful
about 3 inches
morning.
of snow already.
John, thank you very much again for your time. It's great to see you again.
No
How is
problem.
everything with you? How is this situation in the United States, in your hometown? How is everything? And what do you think about what's going on in the world?
Well, we have there's a lot of politics involved in the United States, and we have a governor in Minnesota that's very slow to roll the vaccine out. Only about 41% of the vaccines are being used. He would rather close businesses down. And this is a very authoritarian country where the politicians with COVID-19 have had an aphrodisiac of power, and they're kind of incompetent, poorly managed, poorly run, and they're putting millions and millions of businesses out of work, millions of people out of work. So it's very political, we think, and they're slow to get the vaccine out.
And how do you spend your time, John? Are you still hunting or writing new book
I
or
was in
making a
Vail
video?
last week. I was in Vail snow skiing, and I've I've taken 3 vacations in the last 40 days or so.
Wonderful.
But I work hard. I come to the office every day, and I have articles that are published. I'm promoting my book, Relentless, and we're working all over the world. And the biggest obstacle is that many countries COVID has really shut them down, and they get going and then they get shut down. So it's difficult. And what I've noticed is that customer service has basically disappeared, and companies use COVID-19 as an excuse to provide really bad, lousy customer service.
Yeah. John, I would love to talk a little bit about the power of networking because you're very successful person and you know a lot of people personally and you have great partners and friends. uh, what's networking? Why is it so important to achieve our own success in life? And
Well, I've looked at the world globally, and so I'm everywhere in the world. We're in over 40 countries, and some countries are doing great, like a small island in the Caribbean called Dominica. I'm doing well. Um, so Russia's been slower in the last year than anywhere else. COVID has kind of shut your country down. Uh, so it's important to keep your contacts all over the world. I'm active on Twitter and Facebook and LinkedIn. I don't really use Instagram. I probably should, but I'm in communication. WhatsApp. I send out media releases every single month. If you were to go to my website under SQI, you could see media releases that we send out once a month. And then we put them, once they're published, we put them on our website. And then we also republish them again on the social media platforms. So we keep this focus going on customer service. And I'm trying to do is keep my name out in front of people and keep the brand of customer service and John Tschohl at the top. And the reason I wrote the book Relentless is because most companies focus on customer service for a few months, sometimes a few years, and then they're done. And if you uh, are looking at the data on Amazon, Jeff Bezos, they just announced their fiscal year. In fact, I got to put my thing together, but they increased their sales something like $138 million. Let me look at my article here. Maybe I don't have it. $105.6 billion was our increase last year. That's US dollars. That's not rubles. So if you take what rubles are 40 times, so that's like trillion rubles or something like that. That's just an increase. That's not the total sales. Most companies don't want to copy Amazon for a simple reason. They make too much money. Most people don't want that kind of wealth, Pavel. Jeff Bezos is the first or second wealthiest person in the world. He gave his wife $25 billion in his divorce settlement last year, and he's still number one or two. I mean, how'd you like to be the wife of Jeff Bezos and you get divorced and you get $25 billion? That's not a bad, I mean, how do you spend $25 billion?
Right.
But I think that Amazon is relentless. It's the most customer service driven company in the world. And very few companies understand why they are so successful. They have performance. They do what they said they're going to do. They have speed. If you were to take a look at some of the obstacles Russia faces, there's no speed. Virtually no speed in Russia. At Amazon, they make it really easy to do business with them. Most firms in Russia don't trust the customer. They don't trust the employee. So they make it very, very difficult to do business with them. If you're going to be a service leader, you could have the nicest people in the world, but if you got crazy rules, policies, and procedures, it increases the cost of operation. See, in Russia, nobody cares about cost. Everything in Russia is double what it could be in the US, triple. Nobody cares about price. People are used to paying a lot of money. And you have in Russia, I believe you have too much overhead. You have way too many employees. Nobody cares whether they're performing or not. They just have bodies. It's like a Christmas tree ornament. You just put more ornaments on the tree. And you want to create a culture, in my opinion, of being high performing, high growth, with high performing people. That means you got to train and develop the people. You have to discard the people that don't want to be high performing. You have to change your policies and systems so that you trust the employee, that you value the employee, that you value the customer. You have to have empowerment. There's no empowerment in Russia. Empowerment means the person at the bottom has got to be able to make a fast decision on the spot in favor of the customer. At Amazon, they're not interested in a short-term sale. I ordered a Christmas gift from my brother and his wife, and it was this package of nuts. And I thought it looked kind of cool on the internet. I bought it. They shipped it to me by mistake. I opened it up and I looked at it and I thought it really looked cheap. So I called up Amazon. I call them up. I like to just talk to people. I'm older. And, Amazon it takes about 20 minutes to go through the security protocols. And they have one word they are really good at Amazon. The word doesn't exist in Russia. It's called yes. So when I explained the problem, she said, I apologize because it's a food product. You cannot return it. But why don't we just give you a credit and you can either give it to somebody else or eat it yourself. I don't think that would happen in Russia. But very few companies want $105 billion increase in sales. I think the increase is a significant amount. It's a 38% increase in sales last year. And this is in a terrible COVID environment. They added several 100,000 employees. They got 1.3 million people. I would like to see firms become more customer driven in Russia. I'd like to see them develop their people, to develop a customer centric attitude. One advantage you have in Russia is the people are really smart. You have really good people in Russia. The difficulty is the systems are there to slow people down, to push people down. Companies don't realize how important people are. They're not willing to invest and develop and build high-performing people. At Amazon, they pay everybody a minimum wage of $15 an hour, which is obviously much higher than anybody in Russia for a minimum wage. And then that includes all the health benefits. And I mean, they're a very generous company. But you got to deliver. If you work for Amazon, it's not a company where you can just sit around. And if you walked into your typical business in Russia, they have a security guard who is half dead, maybe 3/4 dead. You walk in and there's people kind of wandering around. They're just got a lot of little people and nobody knows what's happening. There's prices are high, as I said. There's no speed. There's no urgency. Nobody smiles. There's a law in Russia that nobody is allowed to smile. You go directly to jail if you smile. I mean, most people in Russia look like the world is coming to an end. All this can be changed. This is not difficult to change. Okay, so if you want to grow really, really fast, you want to be the most powerful company in Russia, the way to do it is through the customer experience. That means whether you got 10 employees, and remember, Jeff Bezos started with 2 employees in 1995. Only 2 employees. Now they got 1.3 million. But he has always been customer centric. Customer service is one of his 4 core values. And very few companies, I mean, you could count on 2 hands all the people that are really the companies that are customer centric. There's not millions of them. There's only a few. Most people don't want that kind of wealth. It's too much money. Another company is Chewy.com. It's about 7 or 8 years old. They sell dog food and pet food. And now it's worth about $32 billion. They sold to PetSmart about 3 years ago for $3.2 billion. Now it's worth about $32 billion. So, but you got to be relentless. You got to provide this awesome customer service. I could pick up my phone and I could call Chewy.com and they're going to answer the call in 30 seconds. I can call Amazon. They're going to answer the call in 20 seconds. I can call the Mayo Clinic 24 hours a day, which is the #1 healthcare organization in the world, and they answer the phone in 1 ring. But there's only a handful of companies that understand that. So that, Pavel, that's really what I talk about. And I would like to see Russia become the most powerful country in the world, not through military, not through oil, but by developing the people. You got some of the smartest people in the world. What would happen if Russia decided to be the #1 economic power in the world? I mean, the per capita income could triple, quadruple, go up 10, 20 times in Russia. But we need to think of the world globally in Russia. We need to develop customer-driven employees, high-performing employees. We need to help people that are half dead leave. You need to eliminate your security guards. I don't know why companies have security guards in Russia. They're all worthless. I mean, but it's like an ornament. They don't care about costs. I've worked with Sberbank and, I've encouraged them to eliminate their security guards, and they've been doing a good job of getting rid of security guards. They don't use technology. If I was a business in Russia and I had people, let's say I was a retailer, and one of the things that Russia has are beautiful women. So I would hire one of those beautiful women and I'd have them greet every customer at the door with a smile. I'd find somebody that likes to smile. And I'd give them an iPad. And then as somebody comes in, they would say, "Good morning, sir. My name is Olga. What is yours?" "Oh, it's John." "John, have you been here before?" "No, this is my first time." "Well, how can we be of help, John?" But this doesn't happen. And, if I was a bank, you go in and you got those machines in banks, and you go in and you push a thing and up comes a little slip of paper. And then up on above, there's a TV, a screen, and up here comes your number eventually. And you sit on a plastic chair as you wait for the number to come up. Nobody uses technology. If I was a bank, I would get rid of all those machines, and I'd hire an attractive young man or attractive young woman who can smile, and I'd have them greet everybody at the door. I'd get rid of all the security guards. See, you're not going to rob a bank if they know who you are. So you walk into the bank and and the young woman says, "Good morning, sir. My name is Olga. What is yours?" "It's John Tschohl." "Is John Tschohl going to rob the bank if I know his name?" And I'm typing it on my iPad, just like Apple does. See, most people don't want to be like Apple. They make too much money. If you go into an Apple store in the United States, they always have a young person. And by the way, in Apple stores, you don't find beautiful women like you have in Russia. Right? It's one of the greatest assets you got, in addition to smart people. But why not use technology? And you guys should answer the phone in one ring. You got way too many people in Russia, way too many employees. Nobody cares about cost, but you make it difficult for people to buy, and that holds Russia back. Russia should be the most powerful country in the world, not because of military, not because of oil, but because it's got the best people in the world. That's what Singapore has. If you were to compare yourself to Singapore, you have to look at a map with a microscope to find Singapore. It's a tiny little dot on the map. And here's Russia, this huge, one of the largest countries in the world physically. Okay. And here's this little dot on the thing called Singapore with about 5.5 million people. And the per capita income is about $40,000 per person per year. 10, 20 times more than it is in Russia. But they understand the power of people. They value people. They develop people. It's the most customer-driven country in the world.
Yeah.
So I've been doing all the talking, Pavel. What questions do you have?
John, could you please tell a little bit more about your recent book, Relentless? You sent it to me in PDF file. That's great. Thank you very much. Yes.
So the book is coming out this month in Russian. Synergy is the one that's publishing the book. It's available in English. And the focus of the book is to get executives and companies to understand that has to be like breathing. It has to be part of your culture. It has to be a lifetime commitment. You can't deliver customer service for the year 2021 and then in 2022 you forget about it. Or you can't do it for maybe February, March, and April. It has to be part of your culture. It's like breathing. You can't stop. And so I have examples in here of role models that have been relentless. And then I talk about the strategy of this. It's an easy to read book. It's got about 145 pages, a lot of white space. It's available on my website. It'll be available in the bookstores soon with Synergy. And I have a whole bunch of books in Russian that people can read, and all my customer service training programs are in Russian. So, any company that's interested in rapid growth, that is willing to follow some of the American strategies, I'm more than excited about working with them.
Yes, And John, we look forward to see you in Russia or online or live. It would be great if you can come again here and share your wisdom with us.
I think last year was the only year I was not in Russia. And in the last 30 years or so, I mean, I'm there 4 or 5 times a year, but with this COVID, it has really screwed up the world
Right.
and shut the world down. So I've been reading about your Sputnik vaccine, and it looks like it's very successful. And if you guys can get everybody vaccinated, and if I can get my vaccine and everybody else, we can get the world on track again. And then we got to get back to taking better care of our customers. I hope to be in Russia doing a series of seminars. I believe Synergy is going to bring me this year as soon as the marketplace is open, where you can have large seminars
Right.
and large events. And I'll do a tour with my book and do major seminars all over Russia.
Yes, please come. John, thank you very much again for your time, for your inspiration and wisdom. It's great honor talking with you all the time. So let's keep in
Anytime I
touch.
can be of help, Pavel, you let me know. When you publish this, send me a link to where it is.
Absolutely.
And then we'll put it on social media and further leverage it out for you.
Absolutely, John. I will let you know. Thank you very much again. Enjoy your day. Have an amazing day and weekend. And let's keep in touch. Talk to you very soon, John.
Okay.
If I can do something for you also, please let me know.
Okay. Thank you very much, Pavel.
Thank you. See you
Okay,
later.
bye.
Bye.